Everyone. Welcome to OctoStudio Sneak Peek. My name is Ivan Silva. I'm a library maker at Belvedere Surround Library in San Francisco Bay Area. Library Maker, the website is a community that connects and supports library staff from all over the country, libraries big and small. Whether you're just getting started or you've been making for many years, at Library Makers, the website, we invite you to ask questions, share your experience, and connect with colleagues. The site is a social platform where you can engage in discussions about making in libraries. And today we're going to welcome Ada Wren Mitchell, a learning programs designer at Public Library Innovation Exchange in MIT Media Lab. She's going to be joined by Rupal Jain, Carolina Rodigero, and Rachel Garber, and they all work at the Lifelong Kindergarten Group at MIT Media Lab. And this is the same group that developed Scratch, which many of us use to teach coding. So they're going to talk to us about this new app they launched, OctoStudio, and we're lucky to get their sneak peek. Ada, take over.
Hello. I'm going to take over the screen share in a moment. And to start, we're just going to do a little bit of icebreaker. So my name's Ada, and as Yvonne had mentioned, I'm being joined by my colleagues Rachel, Carol, and Rupo, who will be here soon. And we like you to share with us your name and location. Some of you have already done that. And your favorite tool or material you like to create with. Mine is paper because it's like so easy for everyone to use. And feel free to share that in the chat as well. Awesome. I see some sewing with circuits. That's amazing. I really like doing light up stuff with conductive thread as well. Paper circuits is great. Liana, oops, sewing machines and laser cutters. Love that. Let's see, beads and wires and embroidery. That sounds beautiful. Paper and cardboard. Always like fundamentals. Filaments. Oh, I see. There's like some 3D printer work here. Paper circuits, paper and felt. Slow desk shift, making garlands of wish stars. That sounds very cozy. And Legos, including circuits with Felicia, Eric. Bracelets with beans. That's cool. Are you like putting holes through beans or just like connecting them in some way? Cardboard. Katrina, thank you. Perler beads, jewelry, making robots, and 3D printing. You guys are all wonderfully talented. Hello. And we have Ripple joining us from Carol's computer.
Hello, everyone. Sorry to be a little late here.
Oh, we have Chris Dorman as well joining us. All right. So I'm gonna share. Thank you everyone for sharing your favorite tools and materials with us. I'm gonna share my slides with you. Let's see. Welcome. Let's see. So today, we're gonna talk a little bit about sort of OctoStudio, but first I'm gonna give you a little bit of an intro to Plix and what Plix does. So Plix is a project where we work with public libraries and MIT Media Lab to co-design experiences, creative learning STEAM experiences for people around the world. And so far, we've mostly worked with libraries in the US to share with their patrons. So a lot of that is like developing new activities with Media Lab researchers and talented, experienced librarians who know how to like do it practically with their patrons. And we offer those activities in our workshops online, and they're free to use. And there's a forum, a place for you to share back with us the ways in which you've used it. And that also informs us in how we can make adjustments. So let's see, can you still see my screen? Okay. All right, so, oops. Sorry about that. Ah. Okay. All right, so here's a quick run through of Plix. We have upcoming events, one of which is like Sonic Seasoning, where you get to explore the sound of food and different frequencies. And then this is kind of the range of activities we have. Many of them are co-designed with librarians, and this OctoStudio will be another one of the like projects, activities that we want to turn into something that's very usable for everyone to just like jump in, take the supporting materials, and then run a workshop at their libraries. So that's the goal of it. And this one, for example, you can see that like it goes into a little bit about sort of wearables, technology, and are thinking about like our inward looking senses. And these activities have kind of prompts, materials, a zine you can use, you can create and use and share with others, facilitation, tips and ways to get started. So those are a little bit kind of a brief overview of what we have that you can use. And we're very excited to work with librarians. We have a bunch of, a cohort of creative learning ambassadors coming up that some of you have been part of, and others will be joining us in this upcoming cohort. And we'll be trying out OctoStudio as an activity. And more about that from Rupo and Carol. Okay, slideshow, and I'm gonna reshare my screen.
Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be here with you all. So as Ada mentioned, Caro and I are part of the Lifelong Kindergarten group here at the Media Lab. We love librarians, so thank you for everything you do. And we're excited to share something that many of us have been working on for the past few years that just kind of is launching, as it says on the slide, on October 24th. But we're gonna kind of play with it a little before then today. So those of you were talking in the chat about different materials you like to create with, like perler beads or 3D printers or paper. And OctoStudio we see as like another material to create with, and a big intention behind the design was thinking about how can we expand opportunities for creative learning. And so we heard from a lot of our partners in the US and around the world, especially during the pandemic, that many kids were at home, away from access to devices like computers and laptops, but many kids did have access to maybe a smartphone. And again, there's a range of smartphones that kids had access to. And so we started working on this app called OctoStudio. It's available for free, no in-app purchases, no ads, no data that it's tracking. It also doesn't require data or Wi-Fi to use. So once you download the app, you don't need an internet connection to play with it. And this is just a project that, like, just for my personal experience using the app with my daughter. She was like 3 at the time. We were at a beach up here in Massachusetts. She wanted to see a purple fish. And I was like, I don't know if you're going to see a purple fish today, but she's like, why don't we make one happen? So she used the app to take a photo of her world. She then thought about adding this fish emoji and having it go from blue to purple and making this purple fish appear in the water. And so what we thought we would do is maybe take like 30 seconds to show you a video that highlights a few of the ways that you might think about using OctoStudio, different affordances of sensors in the phone, being able to bring in photos and sounds and send things to friends and family. So if you could advance the next slide, and we can play this video. Yeah, so you might have noticed a bunch of different things, right? Being able to embed, like the picture here, embed the phone into something and turn the Frisbee into a steering wheel, use the Bluetooth to beam something between two phones, shake the phone to make something happen, create an animated card that you make a video of and share it to a loved one on WhatsApp. So we're really excited by the different possibilities of OctoStudio as a material, like any of the materials you shared at the beginning of this workshop, a material to create with. And today we're excited to invite you into creating with us with OctoStudio. So in a minute, we'll put up how to get the app, but we thought before then, maybe Caro and I could demo a little bit of how you might think about using the app. And so again, app is available on Android phones and tablets, as well as iOS phones and tablets. It is free, does not require data once you download. And Caro and I thought maybe we could just, make a project together.
Yes.
So,
Ada, we tried to connect the iPad to the Zoom call, but unfortunately with the registration part, it wasn't possible. But the iPad screen is very okay and big, and I hope you can highlight our screen.
yeah, Ada, there we
Yes.
go.
So we have here an example of how to use it in iPad, and we're gonna show you like since the beginning. We click on the OctoStudio link here. Is it bad?
I think we'll make it work. Yeah.
Let's see. You're seeing our reflection right now, but we click on creating a new project. Let's see.
And I think we were thinking of maybe making a project where we bring a character to life, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of characters within the app, but because we're talking to librarians, actually, Caro and I last night went and brought some of our favorite books because we thought maybe you'd like that. And we brought, one of the books that we brought is Frog and Toad. I don't know, shout out to any Frog and Toad fans out there. But we were looking at Frog and Toad, and there's this sweet little story of Frog and Toad called The Story. And if you know this story, Frog is not feeling well and is asking Toad, can you help me feel better? It'd help me if you could tell me a story. And Toad is struggling. He's struggling to think of a story. At one point, he stands on his head because he's like, maybe if I stand on my head, it's gonna help me think of a story to tell you. So we thought it could be fun to play this out a little bit, maybe with OctoStudio.
I like that. So here with OctoStudio, we can start the project by choosing a scene or choosing a sprite. So maybe we could start by this character that we have on the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's, instead of choosing from the library that we have, we can use the camera and take this picture of our dear Toad. Like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
do you want to try that?
I'll try tracing out.
Try to show them what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to trace out our friend here so that we can start to add him into a magical story. Because I'm thinking, instead of just standing on his head in a random place in Frog's house, what if he was standing on his head somewhere different? Where could we put him? So
since this position makes
Yeah.
him
Think
think
of a
of
story.
a story, you know, imagine things. Maybe we could imagine different scenarios. So here in OctoStudio, we have a different options. We could also take a picture of some place,
Mhm.
but here we have fun things. So maybe we could choose this one.
So it's like a little like mushroom scene, and we can imagine that Toad maybe is even like bouncing on this little mushroom toadstool, and you'll see there's a palette of coding blocks.
Yes.
One of the coding blocks is a shake block, which you might have seen in the video. So it's like when shake, something can happen, and maybe we want to have something like that he goes to some different places, like outer space. Maybe he goes and he's doing a dance party on stage, and we have
I like
the
that.
backdrop.
I would be looking for it. Oh yeah, I was at the desk.
Oh, hello. Maybe we can have him change a position every time. So when I push play now, Caro, do you want to shake and see where Toad will
Yes,
go?
let me try.
Now he's on
Wow.
stage.
And now
He's on
the
mushroom.
and now he's in space again.
In
Wow,
space.
amazing.
And
Cool.
so, and we could add like dialogue of different story ideas, maybe that are coming to, you had this idea of like different stories that might be coming to Toad's mind as he's in these different
Yeah,
scenes.
can make him think. It can make him moving while he's going through all these scenarios. Anyway, this is just a very simple
A
example.
simple start. And
Yes.
you know, today we're inviting you all to create with OctoStudio and bring a character to life. Maybe it's a character that's already in the app as an emoji, or one you draw, or one you find in a book or something that you love. And Ada, if you can share the slides, we can put up the QR codes for how to get access to the app. I think our hope is that we'll now, give you a moment to get access to the app. Again, this is something that we're previewing for this group. It's not going to be publicly launched for a few more weeks, but we want to share and have you start playing with it. And then I think in a minute, we'll go into some breakout rooms and start working on projects. We'll have some time to work on projects, and we'll come back. Those who are excited to share your project will have time to share as a group, as well as ask any questions. Okay, Ada, I'll leave it over to you to tell us when the breakout rooms are ready.
And I think I'm gonna do a quick share of what the app looks like so that you can see it a little bit more clearly. And share. So this is a different Toad, and it will hypnotize you. But I just mostly wanted to share that you have all of these different options here. So for example, if you're familiar with Scratch, there's like tap options that aren't that may be similar to click. There's shake that you might not have seen, but you would just drag over the block, and then for example you can do play sounds. I'm gonna detach this one, and this, when I shake it, it will play a bell sound. You can't see that I've shaken it, but I have. So yeah, so feel free to join. Let's see, screen share.
And I would just say before people join the breakout rooms that just keep in mind this is a sneak peek into OctoStudio, and we just invite you to play and experiment with making a project, or really have fun with it. And then we'll have time to gather back together and share if you want, ask questions, but just enjoy the process of just having fun and playing with OctoStudio. And we will have about 15 minutes, a little over 15 minutes for your explorations.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Oh wait.
That's all. I see in the chat, Mimi said they want to give some feedback as someone who's taught a lot with Scratch and Scratch Junior.
Yes, so we had some questions that came up in our breakout room. Before we do have time, before we get to some of the questions and discussion, we wanted to see if anyone felt like sharing anything, any projects that mini teeny projects that you might have started. We could just look at a couple. If anyone felt, our process for this would really just be holding up your device
phone.
to the camera. Does anyone want to share anything that they experimented with?
Hold on. I think I just messed up my thing.
Anyone? If you do, just unmute and just turn on your camera and go right ahead.
Hold on one sec.
Is somebody about to? Is that what you're?
I saw Jen Ensign holding hers up.
I
Oh.
can show mine. Sorry. Okay, so the only picture I had on my phone, because I just deleted him off, is my son running cross country, and he's very scared of wasps and bees. So I made him run from them.
Oh,
We'll do it. So I thought I would be able to do it with a magnet, but it works better to like click him, and he gets bigger.
If we're not
He's
seeing
running up.
you, I don't know.
We're
Ada,
I think we have the wrong person
Yeah, we're
spotlighted.
not seeing Jennifer
person's
now.
Rachel, Ada.
Okay. Who should I be spotlighting?
It was Jen Ensign. Here,
Oh yeah.
Right. Now
There we go.
again.
Sorry, Jen.
Hi. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so this is my kid running cross country. And so if the bees are gonna get him, so I have to click on him to get him away from the bees. But so far he's just running into them. So I need to work on it.
Great.
That's cute.
Thank you.
I just want to say that while Jennifer was creating this project, we were not seeing what she was doing because she was on the phone. But the look on her, like the expression was so much joy. She was having so much fun. It's like, okay, can you share? And then it was this fun. It was amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Anyone else want to share?
I didn't get very far in mine.
It's okay. It does not have to be. It could just be where you started and where you might go next. We just are curious to see what people caught your attention.
Here. I guess me. Can you guys see me? Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you guys can. I was just messing with the tutorial. So I just went for rainbow. Meeting, get transporting into the fairyland. And then my idea was I was working on the if you do stuff to the horse. So I just went to the shaking. So if you shake them, they jump and go. Whoa. And I was going to continue with my, hey, don't do that. But I get that far.
I love it. I love it. That was great. And actually, one of the questions that came up in my breakout room was really how do you build a library program around OctoStudio? And we were talking about the resources and the tutorials within the app. So it's nice that you explored those and tried them.
Yes.
I think we could take one more, maybe one or two more shares. If anyone want to share your sneak peek?
I think Liana wants to share.
Yeah.
Liana.
So I made a game and the goal is, let's see, here we go. When you wiggle the, oh gosh, this is hard to do backwards. You try to touch the stars and every time the little alien touches the stars, it plays a sound and the score goes up. And the goal is to get to 15. Oh my God, this is so hard to do backwards. But that's the idea.
We can see it.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
And you're scoring, which is great. Oh, now
yeah, there we go.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really fun. And we have a coding club at my school, and the kids are going to be so excited to try this because they've been into making games lately, and we've been using the microbit. But the Wi-Fi in the space that we work in isn't great with Scratch, so I'm really excited that we won't need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. So fun what people can try in just a couple minutes.
Yeah. And Liana, for the games, one of the things the engineers added recently is multi-touch. So we've been doing a lot of fun, like multi-touch games, like two-person games, on the screen. So we'd love to see what your kiddos come up with.
Yeah. Oh, the collaboration on that, they're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Slash competition.
Thank you, Leanne.
We can do one more if anyone has a burning itch to share what you created.
I'm very curious about what terrible things Chris has been doing to her octopus.
Someone actually made a game. I was just really mean to my octopus, but I can share. So this is my octopus. And when you touch him, he gets mad. Hold on, screen. Well, you're right, that is hard. He gets mad.
Great.
And you shake him and he changes color and spins around.
Oh, nice.
I am 100% being mean to this octopus. I want him to do some other things, but I haven't gotten there yet. We were talking. But yeah, this is a lot of fun.
It's like virtual pets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, virtual pet.
You pet it. How many times can you pet this pet?
Before he gets mad at you like a real cat or something.
Thank you to everyone for sharing. It was just really fun to see what you created. And we did want to make sure that we saved a little bit of time to make sure that we could answer questions. And I know that one question that came up that we can just circle back to something that Ada said in the beginning was, how do you build a library program around OctoStudio? And that's what Plix is going to be doing with OctoStudio, is we're going to be working with librarians and coming up with suggestions for how to build a library program, and hoping that all of you will join us in that, and thinking about different ages of patrons and how you build a program. Ada, do we want to open it up for questions?
Yeah, we do have a question for all of you, which is, what's something you've heard or tried today that you're really excited or unsure about how to apply to your own practice? So I'm going to put that in the chat so you can ask your own questions or respond to that question.
And Rupal and Carol, there was one question that came up in our breakout room that maybe you could address, is the ability to copy code, the way that Scratch, is there going to be that feature built into OctoStudio, of the ability to sort of add code easily from one sprite to the other?
Yes, we can. We already can do that. We can code this, copy the whole stack of blocks, and we click there and say, okay, I want to send these blocks to this other character or to all of these other sprites. So it's possible to do it too.
Great.
Yeah, the way you do that is, if you're in your project, you have a stack. If you hold down on the stack, there is a duplicate modal that comes up, and you can also duplicate.
I need to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you hold down, there's a duplicate, and you can also duplicate, as Akaro said, to another sprite.
Yeah.
The thing that Scratch offers that OctoStudio currently offer is the ability to use the backpack feature.
Okay.
There isn't a backpack feature.
I just gotta set this off.
In OctoStudio, there isn't quite a backpack feature. However, you could, like, take a project you like, remix it, or right now just kind of see what the code is and replicate it into another project. But it isn't as smooth a process from one project to the next as it is in Scratch. But it's good to know that that's something you're looking for, because again, we're releasing the very first version of this app, and you can imagine, those of you who have been using Scratch for a while, there was at one point a first version, but now there's many versions, and things that have been changed over time. And so we hope to do the same by learning what people really want to see in the app. So it's good to share that feedback back with the team.
Any other questions, thoughts?
People can also feel free to unmute and just ask your question.
Oh, mine was just if there's any plan to put in the Kindle App Store in the future, or we just have to siloed it.
Yeah, I don't think there's currently any plans that I know about that, but I can definitely ask and at least let people know that you're interested in that. I know one thing that has been a request often is like, will there be a browser version for this at some point? I think that's in the future build idea. But currently, again, kind of working with this particular version that's on Android or iOS tablets and phones. One thing I also see coming up in the chat that came up in our room too from Eric was just like more resources. So there's the in-app resources like the Explore page where you can see sample projects. There is the light bulb that you'll see in the editor to add little blocks of code. But when this launches in a couple weeks, the website will also be adding some resources there. For example, we'll have a reference guide that will take you through what each block means, with some facilitation tips about, I'm forgetting the name of the awesome educator. I think Felicia was asking in our room, like, oh, how do I help kids who are using this on a shared device in a classroom? And we'll be sharing some of the things we've learned, as well as mini guides for different activities. Our friends at the Tinkering Studio have been thinking about Tinker with a View, or how to look at patterns using mirrors, how to kind of add paper on top of your device to like do storytelling. So we'll be adding these little mini guides. In addition to, as Rachel said, we hope that you all will join the efforts of Plix to help us really think about, well, what makes sense in the library setting? What would be exciting when we think specifically of the library context? And that's really where we're hoping to collaborate with you and learn from your expertise in the area.
Yeah, I just saw a question on the chat about how the idea of books. So there's an activity that the Exploratory is developing using books, and we hope to showcase this in the library makers coming up. So keep an eye on that coming up.
Yeah, lots of different things they're exploring with book connections. So yeah, I think I'm going to definitely be signing up for that too. I can't wait to see what they've been doing.
I do have a few more shout outs from Plix. If there aren't any other questions or thoughts or comments, so we are working with our group of our cohort of ambassadors who are starting very soon with us, and we're thinking about like what are the ways in which we can develop this into an activity that libraries can quickly take and get started with their patrons and their groups that they work with. And that will be over the course of November through January. And then in February, we plan to have an OctoStudio Make and Meet workshop, sharing those resources out with everyone. So you can sort of sign up for our newsletter if you're interested in staying updated on that. Or also like reach out to me through the Plix email. And then if you want to join the activity development part of it. And we also have like a kit that we send you with like very simple materials that you can explore with. So
Ada, we can share that on Library Makers on our website too.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we love partnering with Plix on all sorts of things. So happy to help spread the word and collaborate.
Thanks, Pam. Ooh, interactive book trailer. What? We have this like the cardboard house thing that Carol, you were carrying around that has like these different ports in which you can put your device in it, and that would be amazing to have that combination of book trailer and OctoStudio explorations on there.
Yeah, that's making me think of, so Ada's talking about, we've built a physical like cityscape with cardboard with little pockets for you to be able to pop in an iPad or phone and to create this like interactive cityscape. But I could imagine you even like creating like a book cover that a book sits in that an iPad could also sit on top of, or a phone, to create the interactive book trailer to be the advertisement for the book that's inside or something like that. Yeah, there could be a lot of different ways of exploring that idea.
For those cardboard makers, we loved, when I first saw OctoStudio, I was at the Exploratorium and they had made like little cardboard house or movie theater buildings to put the iPhone into, so you could extend that to a hands-on cardboard building session as well.
Yeah, this house was actually made by them that we've been carrying around, as Ada said.
It's really nice that everyone's seeing the potential to work with OctoStudio with so many different ages and environments. So it's really exciting, I think, for all of us to see your wheels turning and to share all these exciting ideas.
One thing that came up in our room that I'm not sure is something others discuss is when you're in the homepage, there's the gear in the very top corner. And if you click on the gear, you can see that you can set the app, the blocks in a variety of different language. So like there's 25 languages right now, everything from Portuguese, Spanish, Arabic, Hindi, like lots of different languages that are already in here based off of our partners. And if there's a language that you think would be really important for your community, we'd love to get that feedback as well, because our hope is to continue to add languages for blocks at all times. And another thing for accessibility, there's also accessibility features. So there's sonification. So for children who are visually impaired or blind, to be able to use sounds to be able to create projects using blocks. So we've worked with some consultants from like the Perkins School of the Blind, who've helped us kind of really think about what's the experience for kids who have visual impairments to still be able to create. So again, if that's those pieces, either language pieces or thinking about different accessibility pieces, speak to the patrons you have in your community and you explore those features. We'd love to hear your feedback or thoughts on how we can improve those things too.
Question. I just realized I'm not hearing any sound on the sound playing parts on mine when I do stuff. Like it does everything else, but I'm not hearing sound. So is everybody else hearing sound? Is it just my phone?
Make sure your phone is not on silence in some way.
Yep. I turned it all the way up.
Sometimes
Everything.
sometimes if there's like if you have like alerts muted.
Nope, yeah. Nope, I turned them all the way up.
Yeah,
And
if you have
And I got nothing.
And do you have this toggle, you know, on the side of your phone, there's this toggle. It's not the phone volume, but it's the toggle. If that's been muted, then the sounds will be muted.
Oh no, not for mine. I was like, me, as long as it's just me, then I'm okay. So everybody else is hearing it. I'll figure it out.
We want to know and make sure it's not a bug or something for your phone.
Yeah, because I got the sounds on and I turned up everything, like all the system sounds, media sounds, alerts, notifications, everything, just to make sure. So it's like doing everything else, but
is
no
this sound
sound.
working in another app?
Oh, let me go check. No.
Do we choose?
I'll put it in Spotify just to check. I'm like, maybe I'm losing it over here.
Steam Seekers or Tool Talk? Oh, Liana, are you talking about library makers?
I'm talking about the survey that just got put in the chat. It's saying, which one did you attend? And the choices are Steam Seekers, Tool Talk, or Book Club.
Just say Steam Seekers, it's fine.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, obviously, I just want to thank everybody for filling out registrations and surveys. This is how we can justify getting our funding. So I think you all can appreciate that. And also to help us know what kind of programs you would like to see us do next. Even if you would like to help share something that you do in your library, we're actually here just to let all of you share your ideas. So let us know.
Let me check the settings. Maybe settings.
Another reminder before we go is that OctoStudio launches on October 24th. So this is just a sneak preview for all of you, and we appreciate if you don't share it on social media until after that date.
And one of the reasons for that is because we've been working on this with a bunch of global partners, and we really want them to share the story and amplify their programs and projects. And so that's why we're trying to keep it quiet until then, so they can really lead the announcement of it to the world. And so if we appreciate your support in doing that until after October 24th. But do write to us if you have any feedback or questions.
Yes. And please use it. You're free
Yeah.
to use it,
Yes.
and even if you're students.
Awesome. So thank you everyone for attending the OctoStudio sneak peek. We'd love to hear your feedback. So check out that survey. I'm going to post it again just in case it moved up on the chat. And we hope to see you over the Library Maker website also. Become a member. The community newsfeed and chat is a great place to share and get answers and questions and connect. It's a community created for library people, by library people, with lots of ideas for makers and experience and how to run a successful maker program. So thank you for attending the presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Great reporting.